Hello again, friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Amy, and I'm glad you decided to join me for this January book chat video. I hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas and New Year's. I know I did. For this January book chat video, I'm going to be sharing with you some of the books that I received for my birthday last year that I didn't get a chance to read in 2025, and the books that I got for Christmas last year as well, which is 2025. It's also my TBR, so I will be reading these books. A couple of them I've already read, but I want to share what I got with you because I think it would be fun. So yeah, without further ado, let's just jump right in. The first book that I would like to share with you is a book that I got from my parents for my birthday. It is a book by one of my favorite authors, very classic authors. And I've never read the book, but I've seen the TV show, love the TV show. And that is the book, The Unfinished Story of Sanditon by Jane Austen. If you are a Jane Austen fan, you will love this story. Also, if you love this book, you will also probably love the TV show. PBS did it. I love those seasons. Oh, they're so good. This follows a girl named Miss Parker, and there are only 11 chapters in this, so it's a very, very thin book. I read it in probably 2 days, 3 at the most. I so wish Jane Austen finished this before she passed away. This is such a beautifully crafted story, or it would have been. The chapter she did is a beautifully crafted story. She builds a fantastic world, and the Charlotte Parker is the name of the character. And I love Charlotte. She is just a hoot. And like I said, unfortunately, the story picks up good, and just when you're really to get ready to, if you will, start the actual adventure, the book ends, and it leaves you on there's so many unanswered questions. But if you like this story, I would definitely recommend checking out the PBS miniseries called Sanditon. It starts with this, and it kind of continues on. They make story arcs and whatnot for characters, which is awesome. So if you are a Jane Austen fan, I would highly recommend reading Sanditon. The next book that I got for my birthday was a nonfiction book that I got from my husband that I actually wasn't expecting him to get me, but I was so surprised, and again, I threw through this nonfiction book, and that is called The Tattoo Lady History by Emily Clem, and then I'm going to spell her last name, Osterud. That's a mouthful. And this is a awesome nonfiction book, obviously about tattooed ladies, but the reason why they became tattooed ladies and joined circuses and entertainment of that nature, it is so fascinating and interesting. The lives they led, not only because they have their bodies are in, they're tattooed from head to toe, a lot of these women. The stories behind these amazing women is awesome. Even if you are not necessarily into tattoos, I would highly recommend you check them out. Here is an example of some of the pictures that are in here as well of these awesome ladies. They tell their stories of love, romance, what it was really like to live in sort of a world where there were so many restraints on what was considered, if you will, the proper decorum of a lady, what a lady should do, not do, and the reasoning why they got tattoos. Some of the reasons might surprise you. It wasn't just because they liked tattoos and wanted that as a lifestyle. It is just a fascinating book. I absolutely love it. Definitely a page turner, easy reading. If you're a tattoo enthusiast, I would recommend this book. And even if you are not a tattoo enthusiast or have no inclination of ever wanting tattoos, I would still recommend this book. It is just so fascinating, the lives that these women led and the career path that they lived, and it's just a great story. Highly recommend. The next book that I would like to share with you guys and have read, actually I just finished reading this not that long ago, is a book that I got from a friend named Rebecca W. And she gave me this book called The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum, Baum. I have actually never, ever read this book in my life, and I absolutely loved it. It was a page turner from start to finish. I learned that how the Tin Man became a Tin Man, which I just thought he always was, but backstory. I don't want to spoil it for anybody that's never read it and wants to read it. One of the best things I love about this book is it's easy reading and it has illustrations in it. Yay! I love when books have pictures like this. It just, to me, it really helps capture the essence of the story, and it lets my imagination kind of run wild. Thank you so much for this book. I've never read it or owned a copy until just now. So I'm so happy I got The Wonderful Wizard of Oz for my birthday. It was really, really good. Easy reading. I read it in, I want to say 3 days, maybe 3.5. The next book that I would like to share with you is a book that I received as a birthday present from my sister, and it's a book that I've always wanted to read but never read it. I saw this an old adaptation of the book as a kid, kind of scarred me for life a little bit, but I've always wanted to read it as an adult. I rewatched also the adaptation as an adult, and I really, really loved it. They made another adaptation, a Netflix one, not as good as the first one. But before I leave you guys just wondering what the heck I am talking about, that book is a book by Richard Adams called Watership Down. This is a story about a warren of rabbits, and if you don't know what a warren is, it is a group of rabbits that, that live as a unit, and through human circumstances, they have to leave to find a new place to have a warren, and the main protagonist his name is Fiva, and he has visions. It's set in England's Downs, at one idyllic rural landscape. This stirring tale follows a band of very special creatures and their flight from intrusion of man and the certain destruction of their home. Led by the stout-hearted pair of brothers, they journey from their native Sandfort Warren through the harrowing trials passed by predators and adversaries, and towards the dream of the mysterious promised land and a more perfect society. So that is what it is about. One of my favorite characters in this book is a rabbit called Bigwig. He just always captivates my imagination and heart. I love that he is a warrior. He just, I don't know. I just really connect with Bigwig. He just makes me happy when I read him. But this story, I will say, it's probably not for the weak of heart. There's lots of trials and tribulations that these rabbits go through. This isn't a cute, Peter Rabbit-esque type story. It can be pretty dark and gruesome at times because they are rabbits. So if you are interested in reading this, please keep that in mind. But if you don't mind that and want something new to read, I would definitely give Watership Down a try. Also watch the cartoon movie. I think it's 19... I can't remember, but it's a BBC one. It's an animated cartoon. Watch it. It's really good. Again, don't watch it with young ones though, because a lot of the themes in it is probably going to go over their heads. All right, so that's all my birthday haul. I'm going to be sharing with you now some books that I received as Christmas gifts. So the first book that I got as a Christmas present was from a dear friend of mine, Rebecca W. She also gave me another book, which I forgot to grab, and that is a Charles Dickens Christmas Carol or Christmas stories. I love those. I always read a Christmas Carol every year. So thank you for that book as well, Rebecca. I'm sorry I can't remember where I put it on my shelf, but I also got that book. But this book is a book I got for Christmas from my friend, like I said, Rebecca W. And it is E.T.A. Hoffmann's Nutcracker and Mouse King. And then Alexander Dumas, The Tales of the Nutcracker. I have never read this book in my life. I am so excited to. It's a Christmas book. I am absolutely going into this blind. I love the Nutcracker play when we watch it on at Christmas time. And again, if you are kind of unfamiliar as I am, I'm going to read the back to you. It says, the original tales behind the iconic Christmas ballet. For little girl Marie, the gift of a handsomely decorated nutcracker from a mysterious uncle sets the stage for a Christmas Eve like no other. That night, her extraordinary present comes to life, defends from the taunting Mouse King, and whisks her off to the kingdom of dolls. This volume features two of the earliest versions of what became a Christmas classic, Nutcracker and Mouse King, by E.T.A. Hoffmann and Alexander Dumas in 1845, reimagining the tales of the Nutcracker. Irresistible tales of magic and childhood adventure. They continue to captivate readers of all ages. Okay, so that is what it's about. I cannot wait to crack into this book this December and read this book. I'm not going to start it now because it's January and I'm just not in the mood to read Christmas stories. But you can bet your britches that December 1st comes, I'm going to be cracking into this book, and I cannot wait to read it. If you guys have read this story already, let me know if you think I'm going to like it, which I'm sure I will because I love the Nutcracker Ballet. Okay, the rest of these books that I would like to share with you are books that I bought using a gift card that I got from my second mom, aka mother-in-law. Thank you so much, Mom. I love you. These books are ones that just really I've always wanted but never bought, and one of them is. The other two just look really good. So let's just jump into this. The first book that really captivated me is a book called Solace by Gail Carriage. It says a novel of vampires, werewolves, and parasols. A parasol novel. It looks like this. It's very, very pretty. I'm gonna be going into this blind, but I will read the back to you. It says, first, Alexander I can't even say the last name, is laboring under a great many social tribulations. First, she has no soul. Second, she's a spinster whose father is both Italian and dead. Third, she was rudely attacked by a vampire, breaking all standard of social etiquette. Where to go from there? From bad to worse, apparently, for Alexandria accidentally kills the vampire, and then the appalling Lord Micron, loud, messy, grotesque, and werewolf, is sent to Queen Victoria to investigate. With unexpected vampires appearing and expected vampires disappearing, everyone seems to believe Alexandria is responsible. Can she figure out what is actually happening to London's high society? Will her soulless ability to navigate the supernatural powers prove useful or just plain embarrassing? Finally, who is the real enemy? And do they have Trackle Tart? Solace is the first book in the Parasol Protect series, comedy of manners set in Victorian London, full of werewolves, vampires, and tea drinking. So that is what it's about. I don't know, this just really just appealed to me. I have been wanting this book for quite some time, and I finally decided to buy it, and I cannot wait to jump into this. This will probably be a September read, maybe fall, September read, just because of the setting. So I cannot wait to dive into it, but if I dive into it sooner, so be it. The next book I have is from an author that was a new to me author to begin with, but I absolutely love her writing. And that is Anna Hung. I'm gonna Huang is her last name, and this is a first book in I want to say trilogy, and it's called Twisted Book 1, which I absolutely love that it's written on there, so this author, I was introduced to this author from her other series, which was the King of Sin series. If you haven't read those books, you are missing out. If you like romance, I love those books so much. I fell in love with her writing style. I love the stories she wrote. I'm addicted to them. So when I saw that she has a different book series, I had to pick it up, and I'm going to be going into this blind, but I will read the back to you. It says, Alex is a devil blessed with the face of an angel and cursed with a past he can't escape. Driven by a tragedy that has haunted him for most of his life, his ruthless pursuits for success and vengeance leave little room for matters of the heart. But when he's forced to look after his best friend's sister, he starts to feel something in his chest. A crack, a melt, a fire that could end his world as he knows it. Ava is a free spirit trapped by a nightmare of a childhood she can't remember. But despite her broken past, she never stops seeing beauty in the world, including the heart beneath the icy exterior of a man she shouldn't want. her brother's best friend, her neighbor, her savior, and her downfall. Theirs is a love that was never supposed to happen, but when it does, it unleashes secrets that could destroy them both and everything they hold dear. Um, so that is what it is about. I cannot wait to dive into this. I probably will be starting this one maybe in February. We'll see, because it's a love story, so why not? But I cannot wait to dive into this series. And the last book I would like to share with you is a book by another of my favorite romance authors, and that is a story called A Love Catastrophe by Helena Hunting. Helena Hunting is one of my favorite authors. She wrote a series that I absolutely loved and we'll be talking about next month. And she wrote the series called Pucked, which I think I have probably talked about in past videos, but she is also this author. And she wrote a new book that I cannot wait to jump into. I believe this is a standalone, and I have absolutely no idea what this book is about, but she is a author that is an instant buy for me. I'm never disappointed in her books. It says, Kitty Hart has become internet famous as the Kitty Whisperer for her expertise on all things feline, and as a result, her cat-sitting business is booming. But lately, she has a terrible feeling that maybe her life isn't quite going where it's supposed to go, especially after falling face first into her newest client. Not exactly the best first impression. Fortunately, Miles Thorne is just as bad at first impressions. Strike one, he doesn't like cats, especially Prince Francis, the haughty and mischievous sphinx his mom left in his care. Strike two, tackling Kitty to the floor in a misguided attempt to save the pet he continuously calls the gremlin. As awkwardness slides into attraction and things start to turn personal, will these two complete opposites ever be able to find their furry tail ending? So that is what is about. Again, I cannot wait to dive into her books. They always just leave you just feeling good, and the way she writes is perfect. I love that her characters learn something and grow, and I just always feel satisfied with her books. So I cannot wait to dive into this one. So that is all the video for today. Thank you all so much for watching. If none of those books sound like good books that you ever want to check out, I also wrote a book. And it is not a romance or nonfiction book, but the book I wrote is called Legends, Orbs of the Elements. This is a high fantasy adventure. You can find it on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, Apple iBooks, and lots of other places books are sold. I am currently working on the sequel to this story, and I am so excited to share it with you. I also got something special cooking that concerns this book, and I can't wait to share that with you very, very soon. And I will probably make a video dedicated to that, so be staying tuned for that. This book is filled with magic, adventure, action, thrills, chills, everything that you like in a good fantasy story. If you are interested, like I said, in checking it out and supporting me as a YouTuber and a self-published author, that would be awesome. Once again, my book is called Legends, Orbs of the Elements by Amy Anderson. So that is all the video for today. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a big like, subscribe, Share with friends and family. Down in the comments down below, let me know what one of the books that I showed you that you would be interested in, or let me know what books you want to be reading this coming year. I'd really love to know. I'm also working on getting 200 subscribers this year. I'm well on my way. So the more people that see this video, the better. I've got some more good collection videos in the future, so stay tuned for that. I also have my Tattoo Tuesday coming up at the end of the last Tuesday of the month. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a good one. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye for now, everyone.